back here and explain that bombshell?
Time is tight and your understanding unimportant.
Can I shoot him? Come on, let me shoot him. That first fight don't count.
Look, I don't know what's going on, but it's clear this is at least a little bit your fault.
My contrition is clear, as is my resolve to rectify my recklessness. Imagine ambivalent omnipotence, drifting in darkness.
Speaking of dark...
Such was my celestial solitude. Power without purpose, till uncovered by Raker. His crew were convalescent. Plagued by a pox, I was serendipitously suited to soothe.
A ship full of sick people just happens upon someone with limitless healing?
We were need and needed, symptom and solace. They worshipped the wonder of my ways and declared me divine.
I think we know where this is going.
I do not know where this is going.
This is the scary part.
As the flock of followers fawned, a dark delight developed deep within me. And in the shadows it spoke. Weak whelps, pernicious priesting, feeble fools fit for feasting. Hubris made hunger. A cancerous craving called Magus.
What did it want?
Complete devotion. I too heard this voice, and could hear nothing else.
Adulation, flagellation, gorged with grief and consternation.
I told you this was the scary part.
It was pure putrefaction, sown from the seed of my strength. My soul stone gone sour. I resolved to rip it out.
Rip it out? How?
A mechanical marvel wrought by Raker would sever the stone from my skull and excise the evil entangled within.
Translation: you let Raker steal your powers.
Whatever his wayward wander, he was on that day my friend. He swore to separate sanctity from sin, that my healing could yet be harnessed without harm.
Sure, but who's harnessing it?
I'm with Rocket. Raker knew exactly what he was doing. That man's a master manipulator. Damn it! Now you've got me doing it.
I bear no blame for my fallen friend. Our errant experiment all but broke us both.
Then how do you explain how your best bud got his hands on the stone and is now taking over the galaxy?
I cannot.
I think I can answer that. After I rejected my promise, I got pulled into Nikki's. Corel was there. She was trying to show me something.
Peter, you can't trust anything you saw in there.
This was different, and it felt different. She took me back to the QZ and I saw that Magus thing. I saw it get all twisted up with Nikki and I saw it kill Corel.
You hear yourself? How'd she show you this if she's dead?
Quite conceivable. Her soul may be snared by the stone, chained to the child.
That's what Corel said. The three of them are somehow connected. She said Nikki needs to accept her death.
Magus preys upon her pain, manipulates her mind while feeding on her flock of followers.
And I'm guessing it never gets full.
Its appetite is insatiable. If unassailed, Magus will absorb all.
We're gonna need one hell of a plan.
Well, you better come up with it quick, because I see daylight.
The bond between Magus and Matriarch must be broken. It harvests its hunger through the host.
So, Nikki's like the head vampire. If we cure her, it'll free the rest. Why didn't you just say that?
So step one, find Nikki.
Step 2, convince her mom ain't coming back from the dead.
Step 3, get that stone away from her and mop the floor with that Magus thing.
You show no shortage of assurance.
Yeah, this one's Mr. Positivity. It's enough to make you sick.
The stone is both bondage and bridge for Magus, and a young mind is most malleable. If Magus is merged with hers, she may not survive the severing.
We won't let it come to that.
Not to join the Golden Downer, but how are we supposed to find the kid? What are you...
What's going...
Flark.
Oh, Flark.
They've got the Cortex. They can go anywhere, convert anyone.
We need to go now.
Why does that sound like you're not coming with us?
These are my people. Some still survive if I stay.
Then we'll stay and help.
Go. I'll be where I'm needed when I need to be. Ming. Just trust me.
Don't go dying on me. I'm starting to actually get you. You wanna pop a squat, golden boy? You're making me nervous.
Or perhaps your nerves need gnawing.
What did I do?
This precarious plan proves more meek by the moment. The Madonna was meant to be among us.
She knows what she's doing. Eventually.
Sorry sins I have wrought to wrest me among such a motley crew.
Did he? Did he take my room?
Not so much as a yip from the mud. Groot says he'll keep trying. Where's Mr. Fancy Words?
It is assumed Peter Quill's quarters. It was a daring display of dominance.
Don't you start.
Usually I'd say, who needs him, but we do. So you better fix this one, Quill.
Just try not to piss him off any more than he already is.
If it is to be a fight to the death, I will honor the outcome.
If he kills you, I get your guns.
Wouldn't bet on Peter winning that fight.
Moore, are you okay letting Mantis fight the church alone out there?
She won't fight. She'll focus on evacuating people. Maybe they can all hide in the caves.
So she's just gonna let the church take over her homeworld?
Mantis would tell you that people matter more than the planet. And she knows that the church won't stop coming until we rescue Nikki.
You have great confidence in this celestial Madonna.
She's one of the few people I know I can trust.
Really? She freaks me out.
Because she's smarter than you?
And kinder.
Hey, that nickname makes my skin crawl. I'm furry, not fuzzy. Not even that little. Hey, Quill.
You seem like you're in a good mood.
Huh, do I? I've got a great idea for a new blaster extension. Can't wait to put it together.
Well, now that the gang's back together and we've got a minute to breathe, I think you deserve an official thank you for what you did on Lamentus.
Quill,
I know you don't like that kind of sappy stuff, but I really mean it. Knowing about the crap those scientists did to you, not only does it make my blood boil, it puts everything into perspective.
Come on, it was just a puddle.
I don't know if I could have gotten over something like that.
You saved our lives, man. You deserve a bit of praise.
The rodents saved your lives, and scientists were involved. I have many questions.
Yeah, we'll save them for the next time we all get a drink together, buddy.
Did you just...
You have closed the refrigerator door.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
I thought I was the only one who ever bothered.
I thought I was the only one.
Glad you're back on our side, Drax. I got a feeling we'll need to go full destroyer on this one.
I shall be ready, Peter Quill. I have witnessed the threat posed by Magus firsthand. No one should suffer from its malignant lies. I owe all of you a great debt of gratitude. It'd be my honor to fight beside you with all of my might.
That's a lot of might. Fruit agrees with you, Muscles.
Sounds like we've got ourselves a nice church butt-kicking party.
I only hope our guest agrees to join this buttock-striking celebration.
Hey, Warlock. Open up. This is my room, you know. And that would be my cassette cover.
You penned this pithy poetry?
It's not poetry, it's music. Hard rock. It's supposed to have guitars and bass and drums.
Simplistic scriptures, as is its scribe.
Okay. What's your deal, man? What did I do to piss you off?
Your lamentable leadership allowed the Madonna to leave when we needed her talents to travel to the telepathic realm.
Mantis had good reason to stay behind. We just need to get Nikki and get the hell out so we can find her again.
Your tenuous tactics trust too much to fortune. Can you confidently convince me your meager measures may amply manage this mission?
My meager what?
Your meager metal. We stand against an adversary unlike any before, blinded by burning, hope-fueled hate.
Magus, right, your evil twin. That's our adversary.
Before such a blaze, still a stooge may steer, but your wide-eyed wonder is merely wit and moxie. You strut as an insecure cock, uncertain of his stature.
Does that mean what I think it means?
This audacity acts as stilts on sand as the tide thralls you in. Leading must be wrought off the fullness of your yearning yoke. Will it be so?
Yes. Absolutely.
Wise words. Sure and measured. But beheld by my bemused misgivings, your demeanor differs distinctly in direction from my more willful ways.
Maybe we can meet in the middle then.
Yes. An oath. Will you own an oath to operate with greater aggression? To give gravitas to gravid seasons of your soul and struggle not to stand on destiny's icy flows?
Sure, man. Whatever it takes.
Then assert it.
I swear I'll be a good leader. That I'll be decisive and that I won't let Manus do whatever she wants.
I stand partially reassured.
What about you, Mr. Fancy Words? How do I know you won't see Raker and have a change of heart?
Why would I weasel away?
Didn't you used to be best buds with him?
We were common company for a fleeting fallow, through which I witnessed the incommensurable extent of his sadness. He mourns his lost son.
That's why he's doing all of this. The church, the matriarch? Because he wants to get his kid back. But that can't happen, right? Magus can't...
No. Cannot.
So? We can count on you? When you reunite with Raker, that man's gotta go down.
Indubitably.
So, how is he?
Frustrating. It's like talking to Suzanne Harris at the summer dance all over again.
Ain't that the Hume girl you tried to impress with your yo-yo skills?
Yeah, and it went about as well as talking to Mr. Cape.
What's a yo-yo?
My shoulders are sore.
Yeah, Mantis is heavier than she looked.
It may be up to us to stop the church in nowhere. You ready?
I am Groot.
He's worried about... The Mutt. Says it would be easier with his help.
I didn't think Cosmo would let the church take over its station, but if they got the Cortex, then... I take it Groot didn't reach Cosmo?
No dice.
The tree is persistent. He will keep trying.
He was the most convinced we could bring you back, you know? I don't know if it's optimism or stubbornness, but it works for him. Guess that explains why we ain't been able to reach Cosmo. If you don't answer it, they'll vaporize us.
I will handle this communication.
All yours, buddy.
Hail, traveler. Have you accepted the truth of a divine promise?
We have. My deceased wife and daughter are with me. I thank the matriarch for her gift.
May the promise be fulfilled. You are clear to land at the spaceport.
All them bars and betting parlors.
And noodle joints.
Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
I assume it will be worse.
Raker rallies regiments while we wait whistling in the wings.
Landing as fast as I can, Gold.
What the flark? Great! Cocoon Boy thinks he's a butterfly now!
He is a man of action.
Let's just hope that he can keep the church busy while we look for Nikki.
Didn't think you'd be able to bluff your way through security muscles.
I am quite adept at deception.
We're gonna need more than that to get to the Continuum Cortex and rescue Nikki.
Especially with Golden Boy jumping ship. Should we, like, try to find him?
Time is running out. We cannot lose focus if we are to save the girl.
Drax is right. Let's just hope Warlock can do a bit of damage on his side. So, final showdown against Raker. This time, you'll get him for good.
I intend to. We're not leaving here without Nikki.
You take care of the Milano, okay? Make sure the ship's still here when we come back. Ready, Drax?
I am. My blades are as sharp as the rodent's tongue.
Was that a metaphor?
It was a simile.
I am Groot.
Groot wants you to know he'll do all he can to save your kid.
You know what? I think I kinda understood that.
Your kid sure got herself in a deep, Quill.
Her mom died, man. If Warlock's telling the truth, that thing inside her is using Corell's death to manipulate her.
I get it. Ain't gonna be easy getting her out of there, but I'll die trying.
Let's do this. Time to save Nikki.
Peter?
Okay. Just be cool. Let me handle these guys.
Welcome, travelers. Have you come to witness the fulfillment?
The what now?
The realization of the Matriarch's promise? The beginning of a new world, one without death, or pain, or fear. You should know this. Weren't you vetted and cleared to land here?
What? Of course we were.
How are you not aware of the fulfillment? Something is wrong. These heretics must be stopped. Attack!
Big bad priest guy's down! Hit him where it hurts!
The hovering shaman is blessing his flock!
Yeah, the sooner that guy's down, the better!
Send it their way, Drax!
Hold fast! What is next, Peter Quill?
I got all these toys. I'm just dying for you.
I must hold on.
Gamora!
Might
cut
want to
that!
check on that, Peter!
How many times have I saved your butt now?
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Ding ding! Round two!
Making short work of these cultist creeps.
These deluded souls do not know when to quit!
Those better pray their new world comes without death or pain or fear. Because I'm gonna kill him for flarking up this spaceport.
They have been very busy redecorating.
All the more reason for us to get to the Cortex and find Nikki.
Anybody see any this way to the fulfillment signs?
No. I will inform you if I observe any.
Thanks.
Scott! Cosmos Tower's shut down.
That's because it's never been dark before. You do realize some of the guys shooting at us were nowhere security?
This does not bode well for the dog.
Never was the Mutt's biggest fan, but we could have used a backup telepath.
Just because the tower shut down doesn't mean Cosmo is too. Last time we were here, he knocked out me, Gamora, and Drax, and Lady Hellbender's bounty hunter. Nothing. Kinda dreading what we're gonna see in the marketplace.
The same thing we saw when we flew in.
Yeah, but it'll be up close. Nowhere really stunk sometimes, but...
Flark! Over there!
There's so many of them. I thought most nobodies would have rejected the promise.
Everyone wants something they can't have.
Yeah, but these crooks were suspicious of anyone giving them anything for free.
You're right, Rocket. The people who lived here were rough. I once saw someone beat someone else to a pulp because they gave them a compliment. No way they'd willingly join up.
A sword to the throat can be very convincing.
They got Flark and Faith batteries everywhere.
Just like on Hal's Hope.
Perhaps they have built another giant ray gun inside the Continuum Cortex.
To siphon faith from multiple worlds at once? Is that even possible?
The energy ain't filling these batteries. It's moving away from me.
So they're powering something.
Sure looks like it.
Okay, I think we got the drop on these guys. Let's see that sword!
Get ready to die!
They do not fear death.
Don't mean we can't hurt them first.
These are just fronts!
Maybe they really believed Drax earlier! I'll be here all week!
More batteries the deeper we go. 100 units says they're tied to the fulfillment.
Priest said that they were bringing...
They can't raise the dead, especially after we saved Nikki. Over here! Looks like we can squeeze through.
We must be close to Mantlow's bar. Can you see it?
Not really. There's a lot of debris in the way.
There is no way through this wall.
Could be a bunch of wackos just waiting for us on the other side.
Good point. Peter, you should find a way over to check.
I bet I could pull that chunk out.
Peter!
Well, that didn't work.
Clark, I'm going in.
What about the fanatics?
I'll toast them if I see them. We're the only ones that can do this, right? Clear back here, Quill. Looks like you're gonna have to yank a chunk free from this side, though.
Gamora, you should be able to get your sword in there now. Give me a boost.
Oh, Scott! Not Mantlow's. Look at her. This is personal, Quill.
What's taking so long?
Don't suppose we could try tricking them again? Make them believe we're all promised up?
Not unless you can fake that purple glow they all seem to have.
I know how much you love this dive.
It was the one spot in this whole Flarkin galaxy where a guy could feel safe. I mean, except for the bar brawls and the security raids and the bounty hunters.
We'll drink to it later. Right now, we've got to keep moving.
There's been no sign of Goldie Braun since he left from our ship.
Adam Warlock.
Might be splattered somewhere across the lower city.
Or got picked up by a wandering creep squad.
Or maybe he was lying about which side he was on and is just waiting to attack us.
The Warlock carries an old grudge. He did not align himself with the Grand Unifier.
Yeah, what do we need the Golden Boy for anyways? We were doing fine without him.
I was not fine. Magus was devouring my soul. Your memory is suspect.
Warlock's stronger than any of us. And he's got a pretty good reason to hate Raker.
So you buy his ripped my soul in two story.
Just saying, if anybody stands a chance going toe-to-toe with Raker, it's him. And we're gonna need the Grand Unifier out of the way if we want to stop this ritual. Looks like the church is trying to keep...
Careful. There's treachery ahead.
Okay, we got this.
Do you hear something? Like chanting.
No.
I could have swore.
There is still no sign of the Warlock.
Based on when he jumped, he's probably already in the lower city.
In a busted heap.
Careful, Peter Quill.
Guys, look down. It's an awful lot of light.
You're thinking it's the full Flarkman, ain't you? But it could just be runoff from the cables. Whatever these whack jobs are up to, they need a lot of juice.
Perhaps this is how they powered their fleet to reach Lamentus.
Nah, the Cortex could handle that on its own.
Maybe Raker's trying to reanimate the Celestial Head. Bring it back to life?
Perhaps he wishes to turn it into a ship.
Ah, this thing's deader than dead. It ain't coming back and it ain't jumping through no hyperspace.
Say Celestials are powered by hyperspace. Regardless, we must reach the Undercity to find the girl and stop whatever they are doing.
And we'll have to be ready for them to try and stop us.
The converted ones will be prepared to die in order to bring their loved ones back to life.
Which is pretty ironic if you think about it.
Our level of cooperation is invigorating. We have become a formidable team.
Yep, sure have, Drax.
Ain't we just one big, happy Flarkin family? What are you doing with that garbage?
She's not garbage.
Behold the power of the light! Via Magnati! The Guardians of the Galaxy! Save the believers and alert the Grand Unifier! The fulfillment must not be stopped!
More turkeys dropping in! That's it! She finally snapped! Gamora! Wait for us! You aren't the only one fighting this battle, Gamora! I can keep up with her, Quill! Quill! We might have a problem! Rocket! Do your thing! What the fuck, Gamora? Drax, toss it!
This one is under a Pirates fell! Beware!
Put him down hard! The Warhead's amping up his buddies!
Let's sever his ties that bind!
Gamora! What's going on?
There are more arriving!
Wish we found some flarking hover bikes.
We've got to apply more pressure!
Blow him up!
Not again!
That was, weird, Gamora! You okay?
Powers! Face us!
Coach is choosing his team members! Rocket! Nuke!
I am trying to destroy!
At least we stopped whatever that priest was doing here!
He was converting them to the promise! Our foes laugh as their shaman compels them!
Help me out here!
The enemy proves persistent! These
Thanks for
deluded
the
souls
assist.
do not know! Let us resume at full force! There are more arriving!
More slicing through them like butter!
Been too long since I blew something up.
You aren't the only one fighting in battles! You good?
Never better.
Yep, definitely not good. Gamora, wait, hold on a sec.
Why? So more children can be sacrificed in the name of Raker's flarked up church?
Of course not,
Just what, Peter?
I don't know. Breathe.
Every minute we waste. We don't have time to breathe.
I know Raker brings back bad memories.
This isn't about Thanos. It's about Nikki and what men like Raker and Thanos do to girls like her. Like me. My sister. If I had just been better at protecting Nebula, maybe she wouldn't be dead.
Whoa. What? Nebula's dead? How? By who? Tell me, so I can find him and shake his Kratak in hand.
By me.
You killed your sister?
She is the one you saw in the Matriarch's promise.
That's how I knew it was a lie. The Nebula I knew had been twisted into a hateful, vengeful monster thing. One who would never stop unless I stopped her. So I did. I just never expected to survive.
Why didn't you say something?
It's not exactly a conversation starter. Hi, I'm Gamora. I murdered my sister. Can we be friends? Of course we can't. How can you be friends with a monster? Why would you want that on your team? A team I actually kind of enjoyed being on, all things considered.
Well, I hate Nebula, so I actually would have... What? I'm just saying it don't change nothing.
Actually, it changes everything. The most deadly woman in the galaxy just admitted she loves us.
I did not.
You did. You said you were in love with us right after the part about killing your sister.
I said I enjoyed your company.
That is the Catathian definition of love.
I'll give you like. Can we just move on?
Agreed. That's about all the love fest I can take.
We accept you, Gamora Zenuburi.
Pretty sure we're married now.
This is excruciating.
All right, I'm pretty sure we've all caught our breath. Let's say we go stop a nutjob cult leader.
Yes.
Incoming!
This faith-filled fanatic got the point!
That's what they call a spiritual experience?
You have been broken, team!
Why are there so many of them?
Goes to show how many unhappy people there are!
Oh, you brats!
Save me or we barely denting this thing!
So, forget what I just said, right?
That you love us? No way! I'll treasure that moment! Record tracks!
I'm ready! Just find me an opening!
Gamora! Put him through! Raker doesn't know what he's in for!
He's in for a world of suffering!
Still can't believe you killed Nebula.
I can't believe it either!
That's one big, bad, scut robot! They grabbed the lung! Yo!
Blitz him, Rocket! Why are there so many of them?
Goes to show how many unhappy people there are! I can barely cut into his armor!
Peter Quill, unleash me onto these fools!
What's next, Peter? So we can forget what I just said, right?
That you love us? No way! I'll treasure that moment!
Trace me!
Get him, Groot!
On it!
Ah! The mechanical beast is running out of limbs!
Guys, what do we do about this big boss?
I am not accustomed to being vulnerable.
Barely a flesh wound. You'll be fine.
Make him hurt, Gamora!
Well,
They had this many goons.
We got access to the Cortex. Who knows how many reserve forces they can bring in here? We gotta shut it down.
Let's get to the bridge. Cosmos Tower is the quickest way.
Too wide to cross.
Maybe we can bridge the gap.
We keep saying bridge, and it's starting to sound like a made-up word.
All words are made up.
You see that kid in the ritual thing? Gap's too big to jump.
Why do they keep blocking everything off?
Because now they expect us.
We need to find another way to the bridge.
You know, I usually hated when that Cosmos spotlight would shine down on me, but now I kind of miss it.
You need to find a way to get us across.
We should be prepared in case the Grand Unifier arrives.
I'm more than ready.
I could topple the pillar.
So, Gamora... how am I supposed to drop the most interesting thing she's ever done?
Drax?
I have been eager to topple something over.
really? A fate force field?
If we can find the power source, we should be able to turn it off.
Let's get looking then.
You gotta disconnect the power, Quill.
Can't you do something to shut off the power?
That's it, Peter. Let's go. We need to get out of here before Raker shows up.
All right, dead ahead! Let's book it!
Now is not the time. Guardians of the Galaxy. The Matriarch has chosen to enact the fulfillment from this station. And you shall not stop her.
She hasn't chosen anything. You've been manipulating her from the start.
She is the light. And I am merely her servant.
Kinda hard to be the light with that dark monster thingy inside of her.
Blasphemy! You may have rejected her promise, but you will believe when it returns you from death's cold clutches.
Your pain has pushed you to a perilous precipice, old friend.
How? It can't be. I saw you die.
The form is fleeting, but the foundation remains forever. Now cease this stubborn senselessness, before it reaps a ruinous reward.
Ruinous.
Oops.
Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump!
The Warlock is more valuable than I believe.
Careful around the boosted ones!
Somebody swat that fly!
On the left!
Fucking snipers! Fast cowards!
We need to close this distance! Stay away from me!
It's a breathing room,
I
Groot!
will toss them to their deaths. Perhaps this will tell tale of our battles here.
Is that like a Katavian
This'll
minstrel?
work! We can leapfrog our way back onto the bridge!
Leapfrog?
It's a... Just follow my lead!
This has got my name on
Lob
it!
it at him, big guy!
What's next, Peter?
Okay! We gotta get to that elevator!
Too badly busted up the bridge!
We approach the dog's tower.
Then we're almost halfway there!
Make sure you don't fall off!
Make sure those snipers don't hit you either! So many lousy angles to cover!
I will flank them.
Stay away from the edges!
I will toss them to their deaths.
So many of them, I'd agree with you.
Look, Golden Boy and Unicorn are still at it.
All the dog stuff wasn't just talk.
We're sitting ducks. You are wrong on both counts.
He means we can't stay here.
On this, we are agreed. Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump. A warlock is more valiant than I believe. Any ideas? I have seen a sign.
Being shot at ain't enough of a sign.
I am referring to a billboard. Perhaps it can be cut loose. Okay, we gotta get to that elevator.
We're gonna have to use the rooftops. Stay away from the edges.
I gotta get close to get over.
Ready!
Way to knock some sense into him.
Crap! Now, Kimura! The billboard!
Good call.
You find more snipers over there. You save me one.
No promises.
Bye-bye, Nova Corps nerd!
Way to knock some sense into him.
Justice is swift.
Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump. A warlock is more valiant than I believe. We approach the dog's tower!
Then we're almost halfway there. So many lousy angles to cover.
I will fight them! Okay! We gotta get to that elevator!
We're gonna have to use the rooftops.
Perhaps this will tell tale of our battles here! Oh man! Back on Earth, there was this great song! Crap! Now it's Nova!
They're gonna need a huge recruitment drive after this.
Fix that cuckoo Nova Corpsman's clock! These renegades are relentless! Just once I'd like to cross this bridge without incident!
You can thank Goldie for that.
The warlock saved us from certain death!
I ain't scared of Raker and his little light show.
Now's your chance, Gamora! Rocket! Safety's off! Well, I guess Goldie survived that jump!
I swear, if the Warlock kills Raker before I get a chance. Stop buzzing around. Come down here and fight me.
We can all get a piece if we force him to land.
We approach the dog's tower!
Then we're almost halfway there.
Rip him a new one! Okay! We gotta get to that elevator!
Too bad they busted up the bridge.
Any last words?
It's like a fruit fly, I can't swat him!
We don't need Golden Boy's help.
Is that why you shot him?
Oh yeah, that was great. Right in the butt. Did you see the look on his face? It was all like, oh, my gilded glutes.
Wriggle rear! His perfect posterior! His...
Look out!
Do your worst, faithfuls!
Let's not add to our problems.
So many lousy angles to cover.
Keep shooting. I'll get closer.
Okay! We gotta get to that elevator!
Too bad they busted up the bridge.
That Novacore dude was bonkers!
These renegades are relentless!
How many are there? It's like all of nowhere showed up.
As long as they're here, they can't go through with the... whatever they called it!
The full Flarkman!
That was not the name!
I like it better!
We approach the dog's tower!
Hold on, Nikki! We're coming!
So many lousy angles to cover!
I will flank them!
Finally! I think they're giving up.
Just in time, because we're not getting back on that bridge.
I know where we are. There's a road nearby that intersects the main bridge to Cosmos.
Where?
It should be, right below us.
Warlock better not kill Raker before I get to him.
I am eager to pull that sorcerer's insides to the outside.
We need to be on the other side of this thing.
Drax, buddy, let's make a hole.
That's one way down.
Best way. Look, they're still at it.
At least our guys seem to be winning.
Boom, baby!
You sure are destroying a lot of advertising today.
Like we need another reminder to buy Calyx cream. Always knew nowhere would get raided, but not like this. Thought it would be the world mind cracking down on them.
They do have Novacore converts in their forces. You weren't completely wrong.
Cosmo, he must have bribed so many people to keep this place fun. You gonna make us a bridge or what? Oh, you gotta be flarking kidding me.
This carnage brings back troubling memories of worlds I destroyed.
Don't suppose Groot knows another side route.
If I could just get to the other side, I could hack that thing and drop the bridge.
If you can get to the other side, we can get to the other side, and it wouldn't matter.
Throw me.
What?
Throw me! Just get muscles to huck me across.
Are you kidding? After the fit you threw last time?
This ain't like the last time. You all... I trust you guys.
Leave this to me!
Whoa! Glad that wasn't rocket.
You are a valued member of this team, not a tool to be thrown about.
Worried about this ritual. And what's really gonna happen if we can't stop it.
Ain't gonna be dead people coming back, holding hands and wagging tails, that's for sure.
We won't have to worry about that. I know I can get through to Nikki. This is Raker's doing, not hers.
I won't give up on her either.
Nor will I.
Yeah, and neither will the Grand Unicorn.
You will regret it.
How dumb are these Flarknards to even fall for this full Flarkman garbage?
Magus demands adulation, trapping you with vile illusion while feeding on your soul.
I felt it in my promise too. That endless hunger.
Oh yeah. Hungry is an understatement.
Holy faith!
All that light isn't leading to the cortex. It is the cortex.
How could that mutt let this happen?
Looks like you'll get to ask him yourself. Cosmo!
We've got to get down there.
Don't count him out just yet. I've seen him get out of worse scrapes.
Yet, old business being exposed to the promise.
No! Take these off, people!
These belligerents do not stand a chance. Why does the dog not mind blast them?
I don't think he's in there no more.
I have assuaged the threat. Return to the skirmish.
Appreciate the help, big guy.
The mutt better remember us saving his tail here.
And the rest of him. This is an historic battle. The last stand of nowhere.
They'll be building us statues for this. right into that one!
Having fun preying on the weak?
Like fish in a barrel! Nobody kicks a dog on my watch!
Oh, you're in trouble now! Nowhere Security's in big trouble after this!
File your complaint later! Throw that, Drax!
My knuckles failed to crack this metallic carapace!
Then let's all take a crack at hurting this thing!
Do your thing, Gamora! Punch him up! We gotta keep him off Cosmo!
They will not touch him!
This guy barely feels it!
Look out! Set it free! Cosmo! Talk to us here!
I don't think he hears you!
Man, that giant robot can take a lot of pain!
We need to focus on taking it down! I guess this means there's no nowhere resistance!
We're the resistance now! Chop him up!
We got this sucker right where we want it!
We shall make his fall permanent!
We're barely scratching the big thing's
Remind me
back!
to piss off Groot!
What is next, Peter Quill?
We gotta keep him off Cosmo!
They will not touch him!
Root! Show him your root!
Why does the dog not mind blast them?
Just buy him some time to recover!
Can't even scratch that thing!
Hey, Quill! Wanna see some fireworks?
Keep kicking his
This
legs,
might be a
Drax.
problem.
I'm coming! Oh, crap! Cosmo! Talk to us here!
More talking! Use your mind, Scott, to help us out here!
Ain't nothing getting through!
What the fuck are you doing? He's one of them now.
He's our friend.
Yeah, so is Drax. And I ain't going inside this fleabag's head.
Maybe it doesn't have to come to that. Hey, buddy. Are you,
Take him out before it's too late.
Wait! He's still in there. I can hear him.
I hear only barking.
Focus your mind. He's there.
Oh, Flark, and just shoot the mutts!
Easy, bud. Friends, remember?
Is Peter Quill? Cosmo knows never lie.
Yeah, buddy. It's me. It's all of us.
Where is Cosmo smelled? Smell of nowhere.
Where else would we be, Furbrain?
His mind is addled. Or he is simply a dog.
He doesn't see us. He's still in the promise.
Cosmo, where are you? What do you see?
Blue sky and cars to chase. Cosmo is back. Doma, how you say? Home.
He's talking about Earth.
Smell of fresh grass. Feeling of dirt between paws. No psychic burden, just walkies for going. And the ball for fetching.
If you missed your home planet, could you not simply return at any time?
Nowhere is your home. Right here and now.
Nowhere is nothing. Dead heads, mind for scrap.
It's way more than that. This place is special.
If by met you mean I saved your bark, then yeah, we met here.
It's true. Nowhere was first place since Earth. Cosmo not feel like stray dog. First time, Cosmo forget what was lost.
This place is a haven for misfits like us. Like you. It's home. Earth is just some rock where you were born.
It's not about rock. It's about what Cosmo had on rock. Foot of bed for sleeping, belly for rubbing, color with name.
You miss being someone's property?
Cosmo not property. Belong to family. Then one day, family gone. Men in suits sent Cosmo into space. Cosmo searched many dog years for those he lost, but yet.
You had owners. It sounds like they gave you up.
Family would never turn back on Cosmo.
But what about your puppies, Cosmo? They're your family.
Cosmo young or
They're here, man. And they're counting on you. For love, for protection.
but humans call for Cosmo to heal. Must be loyal.
Those pups actually need you. Be loyal to them. Don't abandon them in space the way you were.
Cosmo would never.
But you have. They're somewhere here on nowhere, maybe needing your help right now.
Come on, Cosmo, you gotta know this doesn't smell right.
Piotr Quill is right. Cosmo human have no smell.
They are wicked perversions. You must bite them with all your might.
Be gone! Cosmo not fetch your lies.
That's it, buddy. You tell them.
Nowhere is Cosmo home be. His pups, his family. Will protect at all costs.
Sick 'em, boy.
Should we help him? I mean, we may need him.
I am optimistic for the beast's recovery.
Cosmo's got his mission. We've got ours. Let's get to the Cortex. You think he'll be okay?
He's got a thick coat.
All right, I still got access codes from when me and Groot were on vacation.
You mean when you quit the team?
Why do you always gotta be so... Flark! Attacking Scratch Snatchers! Gah!
Cosmo changed the codes.
I guess so.
Perhaps you entered the code incorrectly. I have made the same mistake.
With those sausage fingers? Of course you have. These nimble digits don't make mistakes.
I fear I will regret this.
Just don't start kicking up dust.
So, stolen codes, jail time. What exactly were you and Groot doing down here before?
We got a gig from an old contact at Mantlo's before you barged in for a family reunion with Mr. No-Lips.
Not the weirdest guy I know.
You're the weirdest guy I know. The Flark was that?
An earthquake?
Unlikely. We are not on Earth.
Whatever they're doing, I think they just took it to the next level. Drax, how do you keep from breaking your hands smashing through everything?
Protathian bone density.
But you don't even have cuts on your knuckles.
Ritual must be starting soon.
Good question, bud. How do we know we can even stop something this powerful? Probably a question for the bug lady. Too bad she ditched us.
To save her people.
When he was in his promise, Drax said Magus was...
Eating my soul.
And anything that eats can die, right?
That don't sound too scientific.
You wish to poison its food supply.
We're the food supply, so... no. We'll kill it the old-fashioned way.
Yuck.
I am so done with brains and the Universal Church of Crap.
Guardian of Galaxies. Cosmo is owing Bolshoi death.
Welcome back! Hey, we've got an army of church dudes between us in the cortex. You coming?
Нет. Cosmo is retaking Tower of Security, where his pops are highest. Without power, nowhere is being lost. Pops too.
Gotcha. Be careful up there, buddy.
Feeling really exposed in this pit.
Our enemies are just as exposed.
Boy, scary like right.
Well, just got nuked. Hilarious!
Smash him up, Rex!
Close the distance! Don't let them pick you off!
They cannot run from me! Justice!
That floaty mind guy is really starting to tick me off!
So, let's take that sprint-neck soldier out then! My limits are being tested!
Right with you, big guy! Now, Gamora!
I see it!
Finally! Sick of those casting mines!
This is so gross!
At least it's something dry this time! Been too long since I blew something up! Think this stuff's flammable?
Can we try not to blow its mind?
Whoa! Help!
Hang tight!
I'm good. Let's get back to it.
That's why I'm here. I don't think you'll be flying again anytime soon.
Don't get hit by the
Up you get,
mine!
big guy!
I am trying to destroy!
Looks like you need a little help.
Target's wide open!
Well executed! His end draws near!
I'm ready! Just find me an opening! Feeling really exposed in this pit!
More room to pick targets!
Why did that Nova Centurion fly?
Celebrate when we're in the Milano!
Poor goon's got brain security detail.
Gross.
That's a lot of brain powder.
Yeah, that stuff will turn your airway to sludge. Gray lung, they call it.
Good thing I've got my mask.
Oh, that won't help. Them particles are so fine, they're already seeping right in. You probably already got the gray lung.
Lungs are already gray. You know that. I have seen them. Many times.
Drax, little help, Peepo?
Readily.
Drax, over here, hurry!
I move as swiftly as is necessary.
Quill, you know I was just messing with you.
What's that?
There ain't no such thing as gray lung.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Oh, you so fell for it. Gray lung. Ooh.
Did you guys know?
Oh, yeah.
Naturally.
You're always good for a laugh, Quill.
Careful, this place is practically falling apart.
Could be all of nowhere looks like this soon.
It'll get back on its feet.
Giant head does not have feet.
It used to.
Just browsing, huh? All right, let's go.
So they just up and left all this once they discovered the Cortex?
If by up and left you mean that mutt went barking mad and booted everyone out, then yup.
Not surprising. Imagine that thing falling into the wrong hands.
Hey, Groot, think you can get me up there?
I am Groot.
Right about there.
This seems impertinent to our task.
I want to get a look from up high.
Scoping?
Scoping.
Perhaps there is a way to steer nowhere, directly into the rift.
This place smells weird.
It's the brains. Goes sour if it sits too long.
Smells like metal and, I don't know, something else.
Ukria.
What? What's that?
It's the waste product of a large Catathian slug.
I'm not sure slug piss is exactly what I was thinking.
Whoa! Tremors have intensified.
That's one way of putting it.
It is an accurate statement.
Well, it don't help none. For all we know, that thing's about to blow. I don't know what's more dizzying in this place, looking up or looking down.
Do neither. Look your enemies in their eyes.
Would if I could. Staring down somebody's crotch ain't as effective.
I hunger.
For battle?
I did not eat on the ship.
There's plenty of brain tissue to go around.
It can wait.
Minor hiccup we need to consider. How do we even shut down the Cortex now that it's all supercharged?
Yeah, there ain't gonna be an easy off button on that thing.
Any chance you can hack it?
We ain't talking about some junky appliance. This is the Clark and Continuum Cortex.
The Cortex isn't the problem here. It's the Flarknards who've hijacked it. We take them down, and the Cortex is just a machine with nobody at the wheel.
You know there is a wheel. I saw no wheel.
Yeah, there ain't no wheel, but I don't like the idea of just leaving that thing powered up with church stuff. We should focus on them faith conduits. I'm betting they all route through the same junction. That's gonna be the weakness.
What's in all those towers and pods?
Soon to be one less.
Two! Where is Warlock?
Busting open the Nova Corps!
Until we dismantle the church. Our mighty battle shakes the very ground beneath us.
Just be careful with the stops there, big guy! There's a fake tech everywhere!
Hope they round it all up and hurl it into a stun!
Fiends! I will find new ways to kill you.
You guys can run! Wait, Southwest! Things get messy!
The Warlock is a fearsome warrior. We must trust him. Peter Quill, unleash me onto these fools!
Took out another Nova Corps weirdo!
I hope Worldwide has a solid life
We
insurance
can't keep
policy.
getting pulled into skirmishes!
Like we have any choice. They shoot, we shoot.
All right, Groot, let's make a bridge of our own.
Watch out for quakes.
Man, I really hope Warlock makes it to the finish line.
No, Goldie ain't counting on us. To him, we're just a bunch of scuts soiling his fancy boots.
He's seen what we can do.
More importantly, we know what we can do.
Yeah.
All right, easy now.
So, once we get Nikki, we wait for Warlock to catch up?
And the bug lady.
Our plan requires a great many people.
Who said saving the galaxy would be easy?
Let's just take it one thing at a time. Get Nikki and stop this fulfillment thing.
How pragmatic of you.
Try not to count my chickens before they hatch.
That would be counting eggs.
Careful, it gets a little... Whoa, 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 whoa!
Peter, do you want to do the honors?
Totally. Watch this. Surprise, Scud Fluckers! guardians of the galaxy are all about.
You'd think they'd have learned their lesson by now! Once we get inside, I'm on Raker!
I'll try to talk Nikki down if she's in there.
These deluded souls do not know when to quit!
Way to knock some sense into him!
Not one of the whacked out space cops!
Feels like we're up against the entire army!
Their focus should be divided between here and the Mentis, right? My guy keeps dodging my shots! It's all you, Gamora! Don't forget, we're a team! Coordinate!
Fall out, and I will demolish your foes!
Broke another cultist!
Wizard, we stand before your temple gates! Come out and die!
So glad that man is on our side right now!
Man! I totally laid out that psycho soldier!
Way to knock some sense into him!
My mind fills with rage!
Oh man! You guys are in big trouble!
It's past time someone got stabbed! Is the whole church here?
Their focus should be divided between here and the Mentis, right? Whole lot of pain coming your way! Crack! Kick their butts! Watch it! They're crawling out of the woodwork!
I wasn't expecting so many of them!
Need caution!
Final stretch, people! Everything you've got!
Raker better be in there! If we see Raker in there, he's mine!
I got the kid! I know I can reach her!
I am trying to destroy!
Track! Destroy! Groot, don't forget, we're
Fall out, and I will demolish your foes! Well done, you two! A tactfully executed maneuver! I relish the idea of conquering the dastardly device!
Police are coming from everywhere!
I wasn't expecting so many of them!
Danger close, Rocket!
This is bringing back war memories!
Let us show them how wars are fought!
Guys, what do we do about this big bot? Ugh, get off me!
The enemy proves persistent!
This has got my name on it!
Ah! This foe will not break so easily!
Bust out! Let's show them they match with the wrong freaking team!
You'd think they'd have learned their lesson by
I
now!
apologize for my carelessness.
I'll be your wingman anytime! Is it me or we barely denting this thing?
It is as venerable as it is large! We must break it! What is next, Peter Quill?
Need some breathing room, Groot!
Now the true battle begins.
Everyone ready? Game face is on.
I have only one face.
Well, put it in mean mode.
Ha! Done!
What's everybody thinking?
Engraving an explosive is imprudent.
Keep an eye out for Nikki. We get her away from these wackos, then worry about finding Warlock, Mantis, and whoever else.
I have faith your spawn will be saved, Peter Quill.
Everyone quiet.
What did they do to the Cortex?
Nikki!
They strapped her to their Flarkin machine, and they're making the hand direct all the galaxy's faith energy right into it.
Fulfillment has begun.
We gotta get her out of there, but how?
Free the hand, and they lose power. I count 4 cables. Let's pull them out.
My blade should be able to slice into them!
Zonk out weirdos deserve it!
Better than a cup of coffee!
Wind is now! Beware! That warrior will punish us if we attack!
And we don't need any more problems! Gonna kill Raker for using a child like this!
It's her Flarkin fulfillment. When the soul-sucking deity inside her brings
We
Bonnie
need to
back
get Nikki
alive.
out of there before it kills her!
Ain't happening as long as all that
Peter! Peter!
My blade should be able to slice into them!
Do not cut into that cable unless you want to be the deadest woman in the whole galaxy.
Let's unplug them one by one!
Take heed!
We're coming, Nikki!
We need to get Nikki out of there before it kills her!
Ain't happening as long as all that juice coming out of the hand.
We disrupt their ritual! They will do anything to stop us!
The ritual that's going to consume all life in the galaxy? Sorry, not sorry.
Can't believe they strapped her to a fucking machine!
I can't believe they enslaved the continuum cortex. I mean, we've all thought about it, but still.
My great strength goes underutilized!
Yeah! I love playing Zappa Zealot! We're coming, Nikki!
We need to destroy the shield!
Well, we gotta unplug these Daston things.
Working on it!
Work faster! I got all these toys I'm just dying to use!
Anyone see Raker?
The Warlock must have pulverized him!
Shop that did something! Look at the hand!
All right! One down, 3 to go! Nikki! Can you hear us? We're gonna save you!
Looks like she's ignoring you, Quill.
Past time someone got stabbed!
Save your nice words for later, Quill.
I was just trying to wake him up!
These deluded souls do not know when to quit!
Why do they have to be so high up?
I bet you can use your skiffs to get up there!
Just need to unplug it 3 more times!
Let's hope they don't start plugging it back in.
scrambled more than his brain with that one!
Converted continue to converge!
Stop talking like Goldie! One of
Why
them's
do we not
enough!
simply destroy the power sources?
You ever rupture a super state dump cell?
No!
Today ain't the day you want to find out what happened! Ready!
We shut down this thing! We saved the universe, right?
That's the theory!
Put down another fanatic!
Still no sign of the unibrow!
Have I, bro?
They haven't started plugging them back in!
That's 'cause they're too busy getting stuck!
We need to get Nikki out of there before it kills her!
Ain't happening as long as all that juice is coming out of the hand!
Making short work of these cultist creeps!
Zonked out weirdos deserve it! Groot's right! The bubble's shrunk! We can get at that last plug now!
Then let's get to it!
Yeah, got a feeling the Green Unicorn will dawn once we break his toy!
Having fun preying on the weak?
Leave or continuous vortex! I mean, we've all thought about it, but still!
Keep them up, Peter, while he works on the last plug!
I'll drag what I can!
Prepare yourself, Pete!
Don't get sloppy! We can end this!
I've never been more focused!
Root, you're up!
Whoa! We gotta unplug these Daston things!
Working on it!
Work faster!
Last one, people!
About plug-in time! Zonked out weirdos deserve it! Daston and Lang were winning this! They can't stop us now!
Why'd they have to be so high up?
I bet you can use their sniffs to get up there!
I am trying to destroy!
That's right! Just give me a sec!
We're almost there, Nikki! Hold on!
I'll resist the evil craving inside you!
Here we go! Oh no! I might need some help! Nikki! It's okay, I got you.
Hands off me!
Why do you insist on ruining everything? If you won't join me, then just stay away.
This is why I don't have kids.
Nikki, this isn't gonna end how you think.
Says who? You? I
saw what you did. You should want to take it back. I can feel the light inside me. The promise will be fulfilled.
Does she not realize her plan has been thwarted?
This... a minor setback. Isn't that right, Grand Unifier?
The Cortex was meant merely to ease the burden on you, Matriarch. We shall retreat. Please, give me an excuse to kill him.
Is this him? The first divine vessel?
A pale shadow to your magnificence, Matriarch.
Let him watch me do what he could not. I'll draw faith across the entire galaxy myself if I have to.
If you think you can handle...
I'll handle whatever it takes.
Nick.
Damn it! They ain't getting far. I got a tracker on Golden Boy's butt.
You what?
Yeah, I tagged him back on the bridge in case he ditched us again. We just gotta get back to the Milano.
Rocket, don't ever change.